Thank you, Mr. Kanchan Gupta. At the outset, I would like to thank India Ideas Conclave for having me here. It's indeed a big honor for me to be speaking in front of such a learned gathering. My special thanks to Mr. Ram Madhav. First things first, Mr. Alphonse today spoke very passionately about one thing which I think is also very close to my heart. He spoke of fixing the backbone of the country. I, being a doctor, all my last 2 decades of my life has been replacing hips and fixing the spines. And that's what brings me to this discussion, that we are going through changing times. We need to fix the spine of our country. That is actually the crux of the matter. And we need to replace the mindset of the people who has been ruling this country for last, say, maybe 5.5, 6 decades. So where should the change come from? The change should actually come from our own self. The belief that we have in ourselves. And when we stand here and say that, well, I can do this, we need to infuse these sentiments among the masses, especially amongst the children, especially amongst the adults, especially amongst the future of this country. I actually represent a displaced person's mindset. My family, my grandfather, during partition, shifted from erstwhile East Pakistan to present-day Barak Valley, which is the southern part of Assam. Friends, those were trying times for our nation. Punjab was partitioned, Bengal was partitioned. But not just that. In the place where we live, there is a district called Surma Valley. Surma Valley had 2 rivers, Surma River and Barak River. This Surma Valley got partitioned. Surma River is in present-day Bangladesh. The Barak River is in present-day India, the southern part of Assam. So where did I actually migrate from? I migrated from one side of the Surma River to the other side of Barak River, which is almost amounting to maybe 60 kilometers. My grandfather, who was a freedom fighter, served in jails from Jorhat to Noagaon to most of the places for almost 4.5, 5 years of his life, was so disgusted with the Congress policies of that time that after he migrated 60 kilometers from 1947 to 1971 till the time he breathed his last, he never went back to his own house, which was his paternal house. That was the sentiment. We talk of Kashmiri Pandits. Well, Kashmir, I have sympathies for Kashmiri Pandits because a lot of things have been written, the world discusses. But what we do not discuss about is the plight of the Bengali Hindus who migrated from the then East Pakistan to present-day India. Our forefathers, who were our forefathers? All of us have heard of Bipin Chandra Pal, of the Lal Bal Pal fame and all. I trace my roots to the same village from where he comes and all. We have heard of Master Surya Sen, the one who organized that rebellion. We have heard of Bhaga Jyotin. Lots of things are built in his honor in West Bengal and Calcutta today also. So they were our forefathers. If those people who fought for the country, you cannot tell the next generation that you are foreigners. Your forefathers fought for the freedom of our country. Did they fight just to see their next generation being called foreigners in their own land? It is ironical. This is the question all of us need to ask actually. Friends, migration took place during 47 to 1950. Migration also took place during the carnage of 1964 in present-day Bangladesh. It also took place during Mukti Juddha that happened in 1971 with the support of the Indian government. It also took place during 1992, and it also took place during 2001 when Khaleda Zia was in power. And it happened all across, from Bangladesh to all across India. Mr. Alfonso says that there are a lot of Bangladeshis who are working in Kerala. Not just Kerala, there are probably 18 to 19 states. The Supreme Court of a country has observed that there are probably 18 states in the country where people from Bangladesh are working as migrant laborers. Our party, Bharatiya Janata Party, the party that I represent, has made a very interesting distinction between infiltrators and refugees. People who are infiltrating for two reasons. One, because of persecution, they have come here, and many of my family members have come over the years. And another group is an economic migrant. Everyone knows that. Why they are coming? What is the demographic pattern that has changed in those countries that we are talking of in the citizenship bill? In 1947 in Pakistan, the percentage of minorities of the then Pakistan was 23%. Today it is 1.4%. In Bangladesh in 1947, the minority population was 29%. Today it is less than 8%. In Afghanistan during 1947, minority population was around 2 lakh, today less than 500 families. Where have these people gone? They have either gone to US, UK, or they have come to India. Bulk of them have actually converted. That is the reason in the census chart we have less minorities. So obviously they have gone somewhere. Many of them have come to India and come to many parts of this thing. Now to understand this, we need to go back to the Citizenship Amendment Act. If those people are persecuted in present day Pakistan and Bangladesh, they will have to go somewhere. They cannot go and jump in the Bay of Bengal. And our country as it has been, since ages we have given refuge to a lot of people. I'm not going to mention them, but all of us know this. Interestingly, when we talk of Citizenship Amendment Act now, that this act is a communal act. It would have been communal if you would have mentioned only Hindus coming from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. We have mentioned Sikhs, we have mentioned Jains, Buddhists, Christians, everybody. Only thing that we have not mentioned is the Muslims, the people from the Islam. And why should we mention them? Because they are majority in their own country. But it is also not true that any follower of Islam from these three countries, if they apply to India for citizenship, they can get citizenship in India, but not through this Citizenship Amendment Act, but through other routes they can become citizenship, they can gain citizenship in India, just like Adnan Sami. Friends, so we need to understand this. And as Bengalis who have migrated to West Bengal, Assam, and various parts of Northeast and all, they have come just to protect their family, protect the culture that they have been. Otherwise, they would have been converted. And we have no reason not to give them citizenship. That's where our contention is. And I thank Mr. Narendra Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, and also Mr. Rajnath Singh, who during the previous term made a lot of visits to the Northeast to understand the issues there. And
Mr. Roy, we need to wind up now.
Just one more line. So we need to make these people understand that this Citizenship Amendment Act is actually not against any particular religious group. It is for people who are trying to come to India, being persecuted in their own motherland. And this is the history of and nobody can deny this fact that our country was divided on the basis of religion. Thank you. This is my opening remark.
Thank you.